Hey guys, I have a market in 2 days and I am not ready for it. Well, I'm a little ready, but let me explain. So I am back home for the summer and I have been for almost 3 weeks now. The first 2 weeks I had total free time and I was just making whatever I wanted to make. And I wrote a couple patterns and everything, but I was not crocheting things specifically for the market. I was literally just making what I wanted to make because I finally had time to just relax. And then this whole week I have been just working, so I haven't made anything yet. However, I have a few more things that I need to finish making because I've already started them, so I really just want to finish it. And then I also need to just take pictures of the stuff that I made for the patterns that I wrote because I want to take them to the market, and if they sell, then I can't take the pictures anymore and I'll have to remake it. And I don't want to do that. So I've got a lot of stuff to do tonight, and the reason I say tonight is because the market is actually 2 hours away because it's in my local school area, but obviously I've moved home for the summer and so now I'm not at school. So I'm going up there Friday and I want to have everything already just packed up in my car Friday, or on Friday I'll put everything in my car and then head up there. But I do not want to have to worry about making anything else or pricing anything or whatever. I can maybe work on doing a few of the tags tomorrow if I need to, but I just don't want to have to take anything out of my car once I get there. I want to just get there, leave everything in my car, just have it ready, and then Saturday morning drive to the market and set up. So I've got quite a bit to do tonight. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It's 5:12 right now. So first things first, I am going to finish crocheting, or no, actually I need to start crocheting the last axolotl of my series. So one of the patterns I wrote is a like 2-in-1 axolotl pattern. So this is the first version, which I think is super cute. And I feel like this is really cute for literally any color combination because even if you don't do the regular colors of an axolotl, it still looks like an axolotl. And I wanted him to be very chunky. So cute. I love just making all my animals just chunky. I think it's cuter. And then this is the second version. This was actually the second one that I made, but obviously these aren't normal axolotl colors. But I have a sitting up version. And me personally, I like this one better. And everybody else I have asked has said they like it better. No hate to this one, okay? I love this one, super cute. This one was my favorite at first, but then once I started doing more colors in this one, I was like, oh yeah, because I made my favorite color and I'm like, okay, it's my favorite. And I was running out of the smaller size eyes. Like you can tell they're not quite the same. So I used bigger eyes on the yellow one. And I just think it's even cuter. But if you couldn't tell, which there's a good chance you might not be able to tell yet, I am crocheting all of the Minecraft axolotl colors. So I have the white and the pink, the yellow, the normal one, pink with the dark pink. And then I made the brown last. And so the only one I have left to make is the blue one. And that one is also going to be in this format with the laying down with the tail attached, because then I'll have 3 of each. This one I just made when I was writing the pattern. It's not actually for the Minecraft ones, but like in total I'll have 3 of each whenever I finish making the blue one, and it's this version. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make that axolotl, and let me show you everything else that I already have made. So this is all of my stuff from my market, just kind of crammed in this little window over here. Everything in here and in this gray bin already is what's left over from my last market. This bin I don't think has any actual products to sell. I think it's mostly just setup stuff. And then this one has a little bit of setup stuff. Like you can see there's a mannequin head, and then it's got crochet stuff. I actually need to change the tag for this one because I originally was going to try and sell her, but I've decided I kind of want to just keep her because it was one of the first big things I ever made. And also you can see, obviously you can kind of see there's some gaps just because I was still roughly a beginner. It's not bad, it's not horrible, but I kind of want to just keep her. So, but the rest of this, oh, is all just leftover stuff from my last market. So a good amount of stuff. Everything on this bin is what I made in that first 2 weeks of me being home from college. So this was one of my recent makes. I found this free no-sew, or it's not no-sew, but it's low-sew dragon pattern on Instagram. So cute. I think this is adorable. It did take a while, but I would love to make another one. I just don't have time before this market, but I will get another one eventually. That's super cute. This is another one of the patterns that I wrote. So this one I actually wrote a little bit before my break, but I never finished it. I never actually finished the product, and so now it's like fully done. I just need to, you know, take pictures, type it up. So I have a pink and a yellow balloon dog. These ear bands were also just left over from the last market, but all of these plushies I made within the span of 2 weeks. So we've got a bunch of octopuses. This is also a free pattern on Ribbler, and I made them with a couple different types of yarn. Well, they're all chenille, but like different brands and stuff. And so there are a couple different sizes. Then I've got some frogs. Again, free pattern. I wanted to try this, and I think it's adorable. So this is actually Dollar Tree yarn. I made a lot of these octopuses, and I wanted just some simple no-sew projects with Dollar Tree yarn, just because Dollar Tree yarn is very hard to sew with because it kind of falls apart and frays easily. But frogs are no-sew, super fast, take like 15-20 minutes. And then this is another yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's one of the Yarn Bee. I think it's a baby one too. And then this is just acrylic. But yeah, I actually think all of these are free patterns. Yeah, everything I made this week, they're all free patterns. So these are chubby dinos. I've mentioned these before. Super cute, but they do take a while to make. These are also supposed to be axolotls. And that's kind of why you can see the tail is similar to my tail that I made for my axolotl pattern, but obviously the body is completely different. I mean, my tail's different too, but because I had to make the right size for my pattern. But these are another chunky axolotl pattern. But to me, don't get me wrong, I loved making these. Obviously, that's why there's 5 of them. And they are very cute, but it was just not giving axolotl to me. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make my own axolotl pattern. And then I just have this random little squid. And then, okay, this was the last pattern that I wrote. So I made 3 of these little Dumbo octopuses. They are so adorable. So I made a pink, a yellow, and an orange. I wish I could have done a brighter orange, but this was just the only orange that I had. So that'll do. But yeah, these are all things I have to take pictures of. I got to take pictures of the Dumbo octopuses, the balloon dogs, and then my axolotls that I made that I showed you at the beginning, because I want to take them out on my market. I am very tempted to keep this yellow balloon dog for myself just because I think it's so cute and it's my favorite color, but I shouldn't. Now let me show you all of my works in progress. Okay, ignore my little snacks over here. These are my works in progress, and these 2 are practically done, but this free pattern actually, I don't think it mentioned where to put the eyes in, so that's why I totally forgot about it until afterwards. So I need to glue them in, and then this one, I was just in the zone and I just like totally forgot to put them in. So, I mean, obviously they're set in there right now, but you know. So these 2, I just need to get my glue and glue the eyes in. And then this one is a chubby stegosaurus, which you will have seen if you've seen my other market prep videos. And I have all the pieces done. I just need to sew on the legs and the spine. So have them all done, just need to sew that on. So those will be very quick to finish. Then my last whips, I just have these 3 pots, which I guess I should show you from over there. I have this hanging planter, and I make these in 2 different versions, one with long leaves like this and one with shorter leaves. And obviously it has a little hanging strap so you can hang it on your rear view mirror or just whatever. And so I had 2 of those last time, one with the long leaves, one with the short leaves, and they both sold like relatively early on in the market. So that's why I have those 3 pots over there. So my plan for these is to have one that is the same color leaves as the other one, but the short leaves. And then for these two, do it in this lighter green, and then again, 1 short leaves and 1 long leaves. So that way I have 1 of each kind, and I'll have 4 this time instead of 2. So I think that'll be nice to have. And luckily, I already have the pots done. So the leaves are pretty simple. Hopefully it's not too much of a hassle to do. In worst case scenario, if I don't finish this tonight, I can kind of work on that like once I get there tomorrow. It shouldn't take a too long of amount of time, and especially since it's just the leaves and a chain for the hanger, I don't have to like stuff anything. But the axolotl I am going to make tonight. Okay, so I finished the axolotl and he's super cute. So now I officially have all of the Minecraft axolotls. I don't have my yellow one in my hand because I went ahead and put it over there because I have decided to keep a few things, okay? This is my own pattern. I feel like I should keep one for myself. You know, I wrote this from scratch and everything. So I'm keeping the yellow one, and because when I was making the yellow one, I was just so excited about it. I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. So I am keeping the yellow one. Then, I also took pictures of my Dumbo octopuses, which are so stinking cute. So then I have the orange one over here, and then I have the pink one over there too because I decided to keep the pink one. And you know, yellow's my favorite color, but I'm keeping a lot of yellow things, okay? I've already got a lot of yellow. I like the pink one, and the pink one was the first one I made too, and I was like, that one's cute, I like it. So I'm keeping the pink Dumbo octopus. And then I took pictures of the balloon dogs, but I'm keeping the yellow one. The main reason that I convinced myself to keep the yellow one is, I don't know why. You would think this would be one of the simplest, or I mean, this one really is the simplest. Fully no-sew, like simple, you know, it takes 30 minutes to make simple, right? But you would think this would be pretty simple, right? You just crochet like a tube of balloons. It's just like a balloon, 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 right? And you tie it together. But you see how his head's a little floppy, which I don't mind. I think it's very cute. But I can tell just by feeling this, the back side, like this is pretty sturdy. That's pretty sturdy. This front side isn't nearly as sturdy, which it's still cute. I think it really just depends on what you prefer. The yellow one, I made it really sturdy, and I like it better that way just because I think it looks so cute for a decoration. I just think it's the cutest thing ever, and I was like, I sewed this yellow one up so good. And it was the second one I made. I made the pink one first, and I think I will continue to get better at sewing them as time goes on, the more I make them. But I was just like, I sewed the yellow one so good, and it's my favorite color. So I'm keeping the yellow one. I can't, like, I just know I'm gonna be sad to see it go, and so I don't want to sell it. Like, if later on, if I change my mind, of course I can sell it, but I don't want to right now. So I know that kind of cuts down some things that I'm bringing, but I feel confident about the amount of stuff I'm bringing. I think it's still a good amount. So now it's already almost 8:30, and I know that doesn't sound very late, but I work at a summer camp. I gotta be there at 8 a.m. every day, and it's kind of a bit of a drive there. Like I gotta get up early, okay? I gotta get up at like 6:30 every morning. So I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. I want to go to bed within the next hour or two, and I still need to shower and wash my hair and everything before I go to bed. So I am not gonna get to crocheting the leaves on the pots tonight. Hopefully I can do it tomorrow, because I don't have to leave early tomorrow. I'm leaving late because there's just not that much of a reason to. Like, I'm just gonna leave whenever I feel like it after I get home, so I can crochet a little bit before I leave, but then also once I get there, I've still got the rest of the night. So, and then that can also be like my project that I work on during the market. Just in my downtime, I can work on finishing up those leaves. So I'm not too worried about those. I think it'll be fine. All that I'm gonna do tonight is write down all of my inventory. I'm going to make sure this time that I count everything, because I counted almost everything last time, okay? I've got like a pretty good approximation for like how much I made, how much inventory I had, and all the things like that. The only things I didn't count last time were the key change, just because they're so little, there's so many of them, and I was just like, whatever, you know, I was over it, I didn't want to count them, but I'm counting them this time. I'm gonna count everything because I want to know the exact numbers. And this market didn't cost me anything, so my only costs really is yarn, and I'm not taking into account like every yarn ball for every single skein I used, right? Like I'm not gonna go back and do the math because a lot of this yarn I've gotten as gifts, and like if it's something I already had in my stash, I'm not counting it because like I've already paid for it, you know what I mean? So the new yarn that I bought, which I used quite a bit of, but then I also used some old yarn, you know, that is gonna be my cost. And I think it was like $53. And so like, since I'm considering that as my costs for this market, then later on down the road, I've already accounted for those costs, you know what I mean? So I don't need to count them again. Does that make sense? So that's why I don't count yarn that I already have in my inventory, basically, you know? So I'm gonna get to working on that, and I will update you later. Okay, this is my final update for the night. I can fit everything in this one moving bag and in this one tote, so that is perfect. I just finished tagging everything, and I almost put a tag on this guy because I was gonna take him with me. I had him with all the other ones, and then I remembered that I actually told my boyfriend I would give him this one, so he has to be set aside too, which actually works out because I was running so low on tags. I know I didn't run out of tags, but I cannot find my original tags, so I had to go ask my mom for any that she had, and I barely had any. But I just made my little inventory sheet, and I like handwriting stuff. I don't mind it, and it would be faster for me to handwrite it than try and typing everything in a Google sheet. Later on, I would like to do that to kind of have it all nice and organized, but that is not an issue for me right now. I can just handwrite everything. But my total inventory, $1,639. Now, there's no way I will make all of that. I would have to literally sell out of everything. That's not happening. My last market, I made around $400. So I think I'm gonna keep my goal for this one like $200 or $300, and I'll still be happy, you know, at least it's something. But yeah, and I'm actually surprised that I have one less bin. So last market I had both of these and one other bin, but I have one less bin and around the same amount of inventory, because last time I didn't count my keychains and stuff for inventory, so I'm guessing it is around the same. But that's because I made so many plushies. So I'm excited, and now I finally get to go to bed. Also, I will not be bringing Darla with me, so I didn't have to worry about changing her tag. That's her name, you know, and that's part of the reason why I don't want to get rid of her, is because I named her when I made her. And every time I name something, I don't want to get rid of it if I name it. So she's not coming with me because obviously these look pretty full. I'm not gonna worry about trying to take her. Also, I took out a spinner because I don't have enough keychains to fill up 2 spinners. I could have both of them out if I wanted to, but it's just not worth it to me. I'm gonna put them all on the one spinner that I already have in here, so that's great. And now that I have got everything set up, also, this is including my 4 plant hangers that I still have to finish up. So if for whatever reason I don't get those finished before the market, I will go back and adjust my math. But since I have it all written down, that'll motivate me to finish it, because I really don't want to have to redo that math. So that's all for tonight. I will see y'all probably on market day. It's market day, and I've got some updates. I'm gonna just kind of carry you with me as I'm finishing up, getting ready to go. I am a little unprepared. I didn't realize till this morning, totally forgot my chairs, but luckily, you know, my boyfriend lives up here and he is going to be helping me like set up and everything and kind of just hanging out with me. So he has some chairs, that's fine. I also forgot my money bag. So I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, I can just use my makeup bag. I'll just take out the like little toiletry stuff I have in there and I'll just use my makeup bag. But he said he might be able to find a little bag for me to use, so whatever works, that'll be fine. And then I also just remembered, I forgot my actual bags to give to people. And I mean, last market, there were only a few people who wanted bags, so I'm sure it won't be that big of a deal. And like, they were just like Walmart sacks, but it's just nice, you know, if people are carrying a lot of stuff, I can give them a bag and it's fine, but I don't have any bags now. So that's one thing I don't know how we're gonna get around. So yeah, and then, which also means I won't have like a little trash bag either, because I also used a little Walmart sack for trash, which is fine. I can just keep up with my trash and throw it away later. It's just kind of annoying. And I think the reason I'm just so unprepared for this market is because I low-key wasn't looking forward to it. And not that it's like a bad market or a bad place or anything like that. It's just I was very busy with work this week. And then it was also kind of a hassle to just get up here. Like, I had to get up here really late last night. And then I'm also leaving relatively right after the market to go back home. And so it was just kind of a hassle, and I wasn't looking forward to it. And so I was just like, all right, come on, let's just get my stuff and go. Like, I wasn't really thinking about all the other extra things I needed. So I also didn't bring like a lunchbox or anything with ice packs, which isn't that big of a deal because my boyfriend said he was going to go get lunch. So he's going to come back here and pick up my leftovers for me and bring them. So that works out fine. Like, all of these things are very fixable situations, but just kind of unfortunate. But anyway, I'm running a little bit late, so I'm going to go now. Do you want to be in the vlog?
Maybe for a second. Oh, you've already got it recording.
Okay, it was a little bit after 3. Dakota's here too. He's not doing anything. This one is definitely a lot slower than the last market I did, but still pretty good. Because the last time it was like going. I did not have time to crochet anything. But today I actually did finish those little plant hangers. I finished doing the leaves on them, so that was great. And we've made... Oh yeah, Chandler made a drawing in my sketchbook. You want to show the camera?
No.
Oh, he doesn't want to show y'all.
Because I'm drawing something.
Oh yeah, he's drawing something else now, so. Okay, I don't remember the last thing I was talking about, but we've made at least $200. We've kind of been calculating it every once in a while, and so that's good. That was my original goal, so I'm happy, and especially since the traffic's been kind of on and off. A little busy here and there, and then some silver parts, so it's not too bad. It's been pretty good, but pretty chill day. Oh, and I bought some things. I bought some prints from some people. These are from 2 different people, but I think they're so cute. So yeah, oh wait, that's upside down. Anyway, I will update y'all later. Actually, I remembered what I was going to say. Y'all saw the setup a little bit. These cars need to stop driving by. And I have all of my bandanas just in this box, this little crate, and I kind of like that better, just because people can kind of just dig through it and look at them. And then I can have all of them up there instead of just a few, because it's hard to like show all of them laying it out. So I like that better. And then also I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but the octopuses are selling so good. So I'm glad that I made a good amount of those. I think I made 12 in total, or I made 12 regular octopuses and I made 2 Dumbo octopuses. So those have been doing good, and I'm glad. Hey guys, it's been a couple months and I'm finally editing this video, and I realized I'd never filmed the results. So here's the results. I'm just gonna go through it quickly, just kind of say what sold and how much each thing sold for, because I mean I already talked to y'all enough about each plushie during the video. So yeah, and I also don't remember my exact cost because I don't think I have the receipt anymore for that yarn. I normally keep it whenever I'm, doing something like this for a market and I want to add up the stuff, but it's just been so long that I have no idea where it is now, and I'm not gonna bother looking for it. But in the video, as I was editing, I remember I said it was probably about $53, so that's just what I'm going. I don't know it exact on the dot, I'm just saying $53. So let's start with what sold. I had 2 bandanas sell for $12 each, 6 flower keychains sell for $3 each, 1 gummy bear keychain that sold for $6, 1 axolotl, which was the pattern that I wrote, sold for $15, One medium chubby dino sold for $25. The jumbo bee that I made finally sold, and it was for $20. 2 frogs sold for $5 each. And then 2 out of the 4 potted plant car hangers sold, and they were both the long ones, so that was $17 each. Then I had 1 Dumbo octopus sell for $10, and then I had 6 regular octopuses, or octos, sell for $10 each. And then I had a penguin sell for $10, and that penguin was actually the one that I made from that little Sheen crochet kit. So go watch that video if you haven't seen it already. Then I had a mushroom that sold for $15. The squid sold for $12. And then all 3 of my bigger chubby axolotls sold for $12 each, which I feel like is kind of a lower price, but the only reason I priced it that low for the size that it was is just because I wasn't fully happy with it. You know, earlier in the video I said that they're cute, but it just wasn't giving axolotl to me. But they all sold. Only the large ones though, not the smaller ones that I made. And then I had 1 flower coaster that sold for $3, and my Pop-Tart hanger sold for $10. And then I had 8 gummy bear magnets sell, all for $1 each. And then there might have been some stuff from the dollar bin, but I didn't mark anything, so I'm not gonna count it. Anytime I do this, there's always room for error. I'm not like a legitimate business where I have a, you know, online shop and I go in and automatically calculate things, you know, at checkout. I'm just doing everything by hand. So there is always room for error, but this is as accurate as I can be. And so with all that being said, that means that I sold $316 worth of revenue. So that's great. That's around what I was expecting. This market was a smaller area. It wasn't like in the middle of downtown where everybody is, you know. It wasn't like in the middle of nowhere, but it's not like a super big common area that a ton of people are at. So I think majority of the people that showed up was just like because of the advertising of the market and, you know, people telling other people about it. And then sure, maybe a few people who were already in the area, right? So it wasn't nearly as big of a crowd as the first market that I did this year. And so that's why I was not expecting a huge number of sales, but I'm happy with the number that I got. And this market, I actually had a lot more plushies compared to my first market. My first market, it was kind of just everything, and especially because I worked on a lot of stuff for that during the school year, so I was very busy and also working on stuff on the go. When I'm on the go, I'm not bringing all my plushie stuff with me. I'm not bringing stuffing and plush eyes, all that. No. But this time, I did have a lot of time to make plushies, so that worked out in my favor because sales were still good even though there weren't as many people. So that is $316 in revenue, but then when we take account for the costs, which was approximately $53, that's just my guess based on what I said, you know, in the past, and that makes the total profit come to $263. And I was very happy with that. $263 for, you know, sitting there selling plushies outside in the heat all day. I think it was worth it. And you know, I don't really consider the amount of time it takes for me to crochet the plushies as like, I mean, yes, it is labor, but it's like, this is my favorite thing to do. It's my hobby, you know, I'm gonna do it anyway. I might as well make some money from it, you know? So I'm so happy about how this market turned out, and I can't wait to do another one. It'll probably be next year though. I got a busy schedule ahead of me. So anyway, that is all that I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned to see any future market videos if you want. I'll see you next time. Bye.